Good morning, everyone. So I haven't done a video in a little while. Anyway, this video I wanted to talk about goals. So I know it's a new year, and I figure everybody is kind of, I might just turn this down. I figure everyone is kind of thinking, well, I've got this thing that I want to do. Which happens, you know, new year, new beginnings, new opportunities. And I mean, everybody kind of goes, oh yeah, well, I just write a goal down and then I do it. There are lots and lots of different ways that you can try and achieve your goals. I just wanted to add a little bit more of the meat of goal searching as well. Something that you'll find is anyone who talks about goals might talk about writing it down or putting it in a place you can see, like a vision board, for instance. People might, you know, put pictures of it and have a look at it every day. I mean, all of those things are helpful because you want to envision where you're going. And if your mindset says, well, you're never going to achieve it, it's never going to work, you're probably less likely to stick to it, you know. So, you know, and that's something as well, having a personal investment, right? So if you look at any kind of advocacy, so people who are going out and they're trying to enforce change in the world, not in themselves necessarily, but in the world, you know, the ones who flake off because it takes time and energy, and that is change in itself. Changing yourself is time and energy, and it's a length of time, you know, to maintain that as well, once you have changed. So yeah, you'll find, you know, people who are advocates, they're out there, they're talking about how, you know, we need to change the laws or whatever else it is. If they're not personally invested because something has happened to them or a family member, or you know, that's their values, they truly believe in it, heart and soul, then at the end of the day they're going to realize it's hard, because lots of things when it comes to change is hard. Lots of things are going to come up in your way. There's going to be barriers, and we have to truly believe it. So, I mean, right, I have been trying to lose weight for a while, and when I do lose weight, I gain it again. Like, it's this real awful yo-yo thing, you know. So this year, after the car accident, I found out that I had spurs in my one foot, but it's like two of them. One is down here and one is coming at the back there towards my heel, and it hurts to walk. I have special shoes on that I had to pay a little bit more for, and I'm thinking about getting an injection in my foot from the doctor to help that, potentially losing some weight. So one of my goals is to lose some weight and to get healthy and all of those types of things. I've booked, well, I haven't booked in yet, but I'm going to book in with a dietitian, but it's, you know, been holidays, so I've got a referral and stuff, so that should be exciting. But I think that deep down, you know, I mean, when it comes to eating healthy, we all know what to avoid: sugar, things in packages, those types of deals. But it's like doing it every day is exhausting, and I like stuff that makes me feel bad afterwards. So I just need to be strict, and this is what change is. At the beginning, it's going to be really uncomfortable. It's going to take a lot of effort, but after, you know, like 3 weeks to a month, you'll probably find it quite, you know, normal. Maybe not easy, but normal. And there'll be that one day that you have to really put effort in, but it won't be every day, you know. So you know, it's like after a breakup. At the very beginning, you're like, oh, this is awful. And then after a little bit, you're like, oh, this is awful. It reduces, you know. Anyway, so what I was getting at was, think about, for instance, trying to change your goals, things like that. Think about going into the shower or bath, however you wash, and everybody has like a pattern, you know, like they do under their arms first, you know, and then they do their body or whatever, their legs, and then, you know, whatever makes sense to you, right? That's what you do. It's in sync. It's something that you don't even think about. It's autopilot. Now go in there, right? So let's say you wash under your arms, the top of your body first, right? Now go in there tomorrow or today and wash the opposite way. So wash your feet first, you know, and then go up your legs and then wash. So everything backwards. Do it all backwards. And then feel how awkward and weird it feels. The point of this is something very simple. It's something that you wouldn't even realize. You go, oh, well, it's not really a big deal, just showering, right? You do it backwards, and then you'll start to kind of get an idea of, okay, change is hard, you know? If you try and do that every day, you're just gonna hate showering. You're gonna be like, oh, I really dislike this. Because you've been doing it one way for 20 years, you know? So, but look, that's not what this video is about. This video is about trying to achieve those goals that we really want to achieve, you know? So we look at SMART goals. So SMART. So S stands for simple. So when you're looking at a goal, right, you might say, I want to lose weight. So, and then you want to try and trim it down to, so the end goal is lose weight. This week's goal is to change my diet, for instance. You know, maybe remove that burger that I have every 2 days or whatever when I'm going to work, and replace it with some packed lunch, some vegetables, so some structure, for instance. And when we make a goal measurable, which is the next one, then we can say, okay, how do we know that we achieved that goal? If you say lose weight, how do you know you've achieved that goal? If you haven't lost anything, but you've made heaps of changes in your diet and your exercise regime and all those other things, you're going to be disappointed. But if you just say, I just want to replace that burger that I shouldn't be eating, smack, with just a container of vegetables, then you can measure that, right? You can measure that. And you can get an understanding of whether or not you are meeting that goal. And it's an easy thing to do. You know, and it's an easy thing to, like, look at, you know, where you're going and what you're doing, and if you're doing it wrong. Okay, so we've got SMART. Simple, measurable, able. So I'm totally able to just replace that bad snack with some vegetables. You know, realistic. If you're saying, I'm going to lose 20 kilos in a week, I mean, you're setting yourself up for disappointment, love. I'm talking to myself now. And time-bound. So time-bound is something that we look at, okay, you know, just saying, I'm going to do the vegetable thing, how am I going to measure it? You know, well, you're going to say, in a week, am I still doing it? You know, like, this is time bound. You're looking at, okay, have I lost any weight in 3 months? You want to try and give yourself some type of end goal and some type of time limit, you know? And so when you write down your goals, you're going to be looking at your big goal, which is no stress in my life, for instance. And then your little goals. What causes you stress? How can you reduce it? How can we problem solve around that? Is it something you're able to do? You know, what's your life like? It's a very interesting thing to look at, to break down everything that's going on in your life and to get an understanding of how difficult change is, you know, and then try and understand that it's going to take a bit of effort. It's not going to be easy, and change is awesome. Change is awesome. You know, change is a great thing. And this is something to remember as well. When we are moving, we feel good, right? Because people love progress. Not only yourself. I mean, how good do we feel when we look at progress in ourselves and we go, oh, I'm so much better than I used to be. Woo! I'm great. But when we look at progress in like other people, so if we notice progress in another person or they notice progress in you, how great does it feel for someone not to just walk up and say something surface like, oh, you're so pretty, you know, but to come up and say, you know, I'm so proud of you. You have lost weight and that took a lot of effort and I'm so proud. You know what I'm saying? Like, or you've really changed your mindset. I can see that you're a lot less stressed now. You know, those types of things, right? So there's always a different way of looking at it. And look, if something feels huge, this is something that I try and do myself. Break it down into 1, 2, 3, right? So 1, 2, 3 priority activities. So let's just say you struggle with disability or mental health or, you know, addiction, or there's just lots and lots of work you're doing, so you really don't have the time to add a large routine into your life. Be realistic, you know, what's most important to you? Can you cut down the time and that type of thing? It has to fit into your life. That's why I said realistic, able, and so that's what we're looking at. 1, 2, 3. So 1 is a very easy task. Okay, so when you're, you know, going through a hard day, you're depressed, you've got 13-hour shifts, whatever it is, you might only be able to do your 1s. You know, you might not be able to do a 2 and a 3, like move your friend's house or whatever it is. You might not be able to do that. You know, and this is the other thing, right? My daughter's room has gotten out of control. She has way too many toys. Christmas, you know, birthdays, all of that. We used to throw out her toys to charity. We'd give it to charity, not throw them out. So we could replace with new ones, you know, because I suppose I didn't want to overcrowd. We live in a very, very small flat. Okay, so I've noticed that it has gotten out of control. So I get really stressed when I walk into that room because I'm just like, oh God, there's so much stuff. So what I've done is I've just understood this is my thing. I can't deal with being in that room until it's clean. You know, it's just stressful for me. So what we've done is we've broken it up into smaller portions. And I've grabbed a bag of toys, I've pulled it out into the lounge room, and we've gone through it individually. We've thrown out, well, not yet, but I've got to take them. We've thrown out 3 bags of stuff so far. So that's good. That's really good because it's something needed to be done. So, you know, structure. Structure, it takes a little bit of time, but sometimes it's that breaking it down. I mean, there's no way that we're going to be able to change our whole selves overnight. There's no way we're going to be able to get a huge thing like going through my daughter's room in you know, in one day, because my daughter would lose it. She would just be like, I'm so done with this, because getting rid of stuff when you love to keep stuff is actually really emotionally stressful and draining. So that's something that you've got to understand too. If somebody else is a part of your change, understand, you know, how hard it is to change yourself, and understand what their capabilities are. You know, we can go, well, I'm able to lift 200 kilos. I don't understand why my wife can't do this regime. Well, maybe your wife isn't as buff as you and strong and amazing. But, you know, that's cool. She's probably amazing at other things. And maybe she can lift 20 kilos, you know. Maybe she's still awesome. Anyway, I'm going to go, guys, because I'm ready, I think, to go in and get a coffee. Just waiting around this morning because I had to drop my daughter off for an excursion. So she's going to enjoy herself today. She told me she wasn't, but But I'm sure she's going to enjoy herself today. So I would really love it if we can all just look at our goals, break them down, understand if they're realistic, you know, and maybe next time I talk to you guys, I might have an update on my goals. I got to write them all down though. I've got them all in my head, but I'm going, oh yeah, I'll totally do that. So yeah, that's something I have to do, because oh man, I am just not disciplined. I'm not disciplined. So I need some more structure in my life. And you know what? Routine and structure is amazing for the human body. If we keep moving forward, we keep seeing progress in our lives, and others see progress in us, they're going to say, what's your secret formula? And you're going to say, me. No, I'm kidding. You, right? You, because we need to give some credit to ourselves. I'm not doing any of the changes for you guys, right? I'm not even doing the changes for myself. I need to do that. But yeah, good luck guys. If you need any help, let me know. I may be around. I've been a bit exhausted over this Christmas break, so I've just been like MIA. Just so much stuff going on. I've been working as well, so anyway guys, love yous. Have a great time in the new year and get some goals done, and I hope you had a good Christmas, and move forward, think positive. Bye.